Hello everyone. I'm going to share about the remedies against vanity, and this is a subtitle in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. I'm going to read from verse 1 up until 22. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting read. So I hope when you find time you can peruse through, remedies against vanity. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning, than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. Interesting one. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. This one gets me thinking about us who are in salvation, that no one cares about your beginning, how good you are in your beginning. Your end will determine where you really go. It's the end that really matters, the destination. So this is why we should never place judgment on anyone. 9. Be not hasty in the spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. This is a nice one. Looking in the older days and you're like, oh, these were the better days. Those were the good days. I remember the good days. There's some flesh to that. Because imagine, right now, I might say that, the 90s were really good. But did I know God in the 90s? 90s it was a good era, Life was slow, life was smooth, life was sweet. But I didn't know God. If I had died in that smooth, sweet time, smooth and sweet era, I would go to hell. So it gets you thinking. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it. Interesting. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight, which he has made crooked? Wow. Wow. That is interesting. If God makes something crooked, no one can make it straight. Look at Satan. No one can reason with him. No one. No one. In the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider God also has set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. Interesting. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongs his life in his wickedness. Interesting. Sometimes we see things happen to people we consider righteous, people we consider good. It's been a common debate that why does bad stuff happen to good people? And why do the wicked prosper? But if you read the Psalms, you'll know King David had the same question. Solomon's dad had the same question until he saw the end of the wicked. But sometimes wicked people tend to live long, even in their wickedness, and you wonder why. 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why should thou destroy thyself? Don't be righteous over so much, and do not make yourself overly wise, Overly wise over everything, You have to keep it moderate, because you'll kill yourself. You'll be boring, trust me. You ever seen those wise people that are overly wise? Everything they apply wisdom, try to see detail in everything. They're so robotic, and kill yourself. You lose out on life. Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before your time? It's a nice one. It is good that thou should take hold of this. Yes, also from this withdraw not thine hand. For he that fears God shall come forth of them all. So, verse 17 and 18 work together. Wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. Interesting. And remember, who is wisdom? The beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. For there is not a just man upon earth that does good and sins not. See that? And we all come and start judging each and every one that, oh my God, so and so is so evil. So we keep exposing people, Also take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear your servant curse thee. This is a nice one. I always tell people that don't really mind people's opinion. It's just their opinion, It's just what they think. It doesn't mean it's the right thing. Someone might come and say, Mark, you have a big nose. Well, if I look at it, it's kind of big. But that's your opinion, It's me wearing my nose, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, So he says that take heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. There's people who always want to hear everything. For oftentimes also thine own heart knows that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. So even you, your own self, you know in your heart that you have rebuked, you have cursed, you have judged, you have done things. Deep down in your heart, you know it. Interesting. So 21 and 22 all work together. So that is what I wanted to read through, the book of Ecclesiastes. I recommend, or I prescribe that when you find time, you read through the book of Ecclesiastes. It's a very interesting read. It takes you to another realm. It gets you thinking. It will give you wisdom. It will give you another perspective about life. And that's what I wanted to share about it. Glory be to God.